Good morning, Father Robert Nkenfack.
Good morning.
How are you doing today, Father?
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so happy to meet you in person.
It's my pleasure.
After a long time. And you look so fresh, Father. What's the secret?
We apply the gospel
Okay.
where Jesus said that we should live like little children.
Okay.
With childlike confidence, we'll always be children.
Oh, wow.
So we'll always look fresh and young.
Oh, thank you. You look like very fit. Do you do sports, Father?
Yeah, I did a lot of it when I was young.
Okay.
And now to keep fit, I walk.
Oh, you
I
do?
walk, yes. I walk quite a number of distances, 3 to 4 times a week. I can walk about 71 kilometers a week. Yes. And that helps me to keep fit. I was a little huge. I had a long stomach.
Oh, really?
And with the help of doctors, I understood the necessity to cut down. Now I did not want to strain a lot in that, so I used walking like my knees to cut down.
To keep fit.
Yes.
Wow, that's quite impressive.
Yeah.
Dear spectators and viewers, I have the honor to interview Father Robert Nkenfack. Father Robert Nkenfack is the Chancellor of the Diocese of St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Father, I'm here because of the historic event and the news that we heard on the 2nd of March,
Sure.
2021,
Sure.
the appointment of beloved Cameroonian, the first Cameroonian-born bishop from Africa in the United States of America, in the person of the most Reverend Jerome Frederick. Before we go to the bishop, I would like to have to get to know you better, a parcours of your life. Where were you born, Father?
I was born in Chang,
Oh, really?
just like the bishop.
Oh,
I was born in the town of Chang,
Okay.
some 52 years ago.
Interesting.
Yeah. I grew in Chang.
I can't believe you're 52. You look like 35.
I am.
Interesting.
I grew in Chang from primary school.
Okay.
Then I went to the minor seminary in Bafu, which is just a stone throw from Changtown.
Okay.
It's still in Menua division. Bafu is a village. I went to the minor seminary there
I see.
for 5 years. Then the minor seminary was transferred to Bafoussam.
I see.
And I went to Bafoussam for the next 2 years, and
Okay.
I graduated. Then I was sent by
You graduated with an advanced level.
yes,
Okay. Was that Francophone studies or Anglophone?
yes, Francophone, pure
Okay,
Francophone
okay.
studies.
So that was baccalaureate.
Yes, baccalaureate.
I see.
Then I was sent by Bishop Andrew King of blessed memory.
Oh, the great Andrew.
Exactly, to the major seminary in Bambui.
Oh, really? I
Yes.
don't understand why your English is so impeccable, so fluent.
I think it's one of the best moments I had.
Okay.
Because I did not understand why I was sent to Bamboo.
Oh,
I was puzzled
okay.
because I wasn't the best in English.
Exactly.
I did not even have a particular interest in English.
English.
Yes, but I was not the worst either.
Exactly.
And when I was sent there, I wasn't asked.
Whether you would like
Yes,
it or not.
no. And by obedience to the bishop, I went.
Interesting.
And I learned gradually.
Which year was that, Father, if I may ask? Which year?
1990.
Oh, wow, 1990.
Yes, I still remember an experience I had in the seminary with the rector who was teaching us fundamental theology.
Who was the rector then?
Father John Ambe.
Oh, John
He was
Ambe.
teaching us fundamental theology.
Okay.
And someday he got into class after an exam
Okay.
and was sharing the papers
Papers.
back to students.
Yes.
That was in first year theology.
Okay.
And at the end, he held 2 papers
Yes.
and said to Anglophones, "You better learn English from these Francophones."
Wow.
That was my paper and the paper of Father Gilmore.
Okay.
I felt like
You felt so
English. We
honored.
can speak English.
And
speak
write.
English. Yes, and write it.
Wow.
I was
Overwhelmed.
completely overwhelmed, amazed. amazed from what he said.
So that was in theology?
Yes, that was in theology. I was so touched that I decided to write my bachelor degree in theology in English.
Wow.
From that moment, I understood I could write it in English.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
I am so happy with Bishop Andrew King
For having
sent me to Bamenda. Not only because I learned the language, but because I learned the Anglo-Saxon culture, which for me is the best.
Oh, really?
Which for me is the best.
So
I got drowned into a culture from where I can't escape anymore.
Really?
Yes. So I thank him so much for that.
Yeah.
So I've been a priest. I was ordained in 1998.
Okay. So you were in Bamboo for 7 years. You were ordained a deacon.
Yes.
Where were you ordained a deacon, Father?
In Bamenda.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Bamenda.
St. Peter and Paul. They always ordained all the.
Exactly.
I see. By which archbishop? Was it Paul the Deacon?
Archbishop first
Vetzekov.
Dogma.
Oh, Dogma, may so rest in peace.
Yeah.
You know, his course of beatification has been introduced.
He should be beatified.
Okay.
He's a great man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think he knew how to align together strict observances of the church's laws and humility.
Okay. At the same time.
Yes, at the same time. He was a very humble man. In fact, he used to say that he is a timid person.
Openly.
Yes, he used to say that. When talking with him, he used to say that. But when he speaks, he's like thunder.
Wow.
When he's preaching, when he's talking, it's like thunder.
The sound,
Yeah,
the voice.
yeah. It is so powerful and profound, but in ordinary life, a very simple person.
Interesting. This is a praise about this.
Yeah.
Before we continue from there, Father, this Archbishop Paul Vetzekov and Archbishop Woking seem to be very good friends. But tell us more about that.
The two dioceses were created practically the same year.
Okay.
The Archdiocese of Bamenda and the Diocese of Bafoussam. With the difference that Paul Vetzekov was the first Archbishop, and he is the one who ordained Bishop Woking a bishop.
That's true in Bafoussam.
Yes, in Bafoussam. And they were so much alike because they had practically the same character, the same qualities.
Wow.
Bishop Woking was a very small person.
Very small.
Yes, but he was just as thunder, speaking like the
Archbishop.
Yeah, and he probably till now has been the best Bafoussam has ever had as a bishop. Yeah, simple, so simple. Okay. You must have heard that before he died, he called a member of his family, and the only thing he gave them was his pair of glasses.
I heard about that.
Yes, his pair of glasses, and that was his life. Wow. Sometimes talking with him at the bishop's house, he will tell you that he has nothing, and he will have to call the bishop's financial secretary to find out whether he can be given a little money. Oh. I mean, he did not care so much about that. Okay. But he cared so much about the church, about Christians, about other people, about his priests. Wow. His priests. Since I was ordained, that is the best bishop I've ever seen in caring about his priests. Wow. Yes. So much about his priests. Yeah.
And he was an intellectual to the highest degree, but he didn't go to any further studies.
Yeah. Today we believe intellectuals are those who have degrees.
Exactly.
Looking at it from that side, he wasn't an intellectual. He had the first degree in mathematics. Okay. And he had gone to the seminary, the formation like the people of his time. Exactly. And that was all he had. Wow. That was all he had. But he was inspired by the gospel. We can read behind Bishop Woking the same inspiration and infused knowledge of Saint Teresa.
Okay, of the Child
Of the Child Jesus. You can read that in the life of Bishop Wiki. It looks like when we want to live the gospel profoundly, we have an insight that books cannot give.
Exactly.
Yes. We go beyond books, we go beyond ordinary life to meet something that comes from the mind of God Himself. I don't think there is a greater degree than the mind of God.
There is not.
There is not.
Exactly.
All these degrees are human degrees.
Exactly.
But when you have a divine degree, it goes beyond every degree. Yeah.
Wow,
and you can speak everything, you can talk about everything, and you say exactly so naturally as God made the world by thought.
Wow. No, what you're saying is very impressive, because when I was in Ottawa doing canon law, there was this priest who studied in Colbison.
Yeah.
And he studied there when Archbishop Woking was the Archbishop of Yaoundé.
Yeah.
So Archbishop Woking visited the Kali University and gave a theological presentation.
Exactly.
And he said, I know who I am. I don't need people to give me degrees to tell. I know I am.
Exactly.
So the guy was at the band, no papers, nothing, just talking so spontaneously.
Yes.
Wow.
That was it. Yeah. He knew exactly what to say, when to say it, to which audience to say it. He knew everything that came out of the mouth of Archbishop Woking was just straight to the point.
That's so powerful.
Yeah.
So what has the Diocese of Bafoussam done, Father, regarding his course of beatification should be introduced? This man lived a saintly life.
Yeah, normally if there was a course of beatification to be introduced, it would have been where he served last, which is the Archbishop, the Archdiocese of Yaoundé.
Okay.
But I believe that a joint consultation could be made in that line. Okay. Someone started it, a Jesuit brother, Nkenfack. He started the process. I don't know how far it's gone, but we continue to pray that someday we could have those African saints that we really lived with. And shared in their life. Yes,
that would be so profound.
We'll be happy to have that.
Thank you, Father, for the short insight on the Archbishop Amanda and Archbishop Andrew Kane and Archbishop Paul Betekov. Let's go. You were ordained a deacon by Archbishop Betekov, and a priest by Andrew Kane.
By Andrew.
Wow, what an honor!
Yes, I was ordained by two saints.
Oh my God, this is so profound. This is so profound. When was that, Father? When were you ordained a priest?
I was ordained a deacon in 1997 and a priest on the 11th of July 1998. We were 11.
Okay.
We were ordained on the 11th. We are the greatest number so far
in the
diocese. We were the last priest ordained by Bishop. Yes, because after us, he was transferred to Yaoundé.
Interesting.
Yes, a year later. A year later, he was transferred to Yaoundé. So we were the last priest of Bishop Andrew King in Bafoussam.
I see.
11 of us. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. So after ordination, Father, where were you posted?
I was posted at Tamja, St. Albert the Great Tamja Parish. I was there for 3 years. Then I was assistant priest of Father Jacques Tadjoua, then Father Michel Tene. I was also taking care of the English-speaking community of that parish.
Wow, because of the English.
In Bafoussam, there were two English-speaking communities, one at Tamja and one at the cathedral.
Okay.
And I was taking care of the one at Tamja. And towards the third year, beginning third year, we started an English-speaking school.
Oh, wow.
And we had so many children, and it was so nice. I had parishioners, members of the community who were lecturers and inspectors, English inspectors, so they helped gather those children and make that school exist. In the little way we could have it in Tamja Parish there. We were using the halls and the little things to have them. Okay. So I met Bishop Atanga because he was the new bishop of Bafoussam. I met him to offer us a land. Okay. I knew the diocese had lands because I heard the former Vicar General, Father Chancellor, to write his hanging over notes, and he had bought so many lands for the diocese. And the biggest land that was almost 1,900 meters square was somewhere at my tomb. And I focused on that land. And when I was talking to the bishop, I spoke about it because I knew already about it. And the bishop said it is a little hilly, and I don't know whether you like it, but you can meet the bishop's financial secretary who knows the place. He's going to take the plans because he had already a land title. You go there and look at the place. I said, thank you. That is just what I wanted from him. So I got a few members of the community from Tamja, a few from the cathedral. We went together with the bishop's financial secretary. We went and looked at the land, and went round the boundaries of the land, and they were all happy. They said, no, we can settle there. It was a little in the bush, an area that was not very much very much open to everyone. But they said we can get the land.
Exactly,
you know Anglo-France.
Yes, very
they
positive.
did not care so much about
the location.
Yes, they wanted a land, and from that moment they had the land. When we went back to the bishop and told the bishop our satisfaction and told him that we could have the school there. He said, okay, there's no problem.
Oh wow!
But the surprising aspect of it is, at the end of the pastoral year, we expected him to announce that there is a place where we are going to have a school.
Exactly.
But he announced the creation of the English-speaking parish.
Wow, that was a great development.
Yeah, he decided to create a parish there.
Wow.
And so it was a sociological parish. So all Anglophones in town were to come there. And I was the first parish priest. Parish priest. Since it was empty land, we met a few parishioners of Tamja who could help. And one gave us a tarpaulin. We got authorization from the government, and we placed the tarpaulin on the road because the people at the same time rented a house to make a presbytery. So we put the tarpaulin in front of the house, and they used to worship there. Eventually, since there were many Nigerians, we bought tarpaulins from Nigeria, and we mounted them in a school that was near, and we started worshiping on them.
Interesting.
Why working now to build
the
parish? Yeah, that parish is 20 years this year.
Wow.
It's 20
years.
years.
Parish.
Yes.
What an honor.
Yeah. So that's how we got that English speaking parish in Bafoussam.
And Bishop Andrew should have been so happy to hear that.
God is good.
Right?
We do it for him.
Exactly. For God.
And he is the one who gives us both the energy and
the inspiration.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. That's great. So that was your first posting. After that, where were you posted for?
I went to Bangam. I worked in Bangam. Then I worked in Buddha town. Then I went to Bagante, Banikane, where I worked for 3 years.
I see.
Then I came back to Bafoussam. I worked at the Cathedral of Bafoussam for 1 year.
I see.
Then I went down the cathedral to Saint Fidelis of Thiop, Balen.
I see. Wow.
I worked there for 8 years.
Wow. That was in 2009.
2000.
8 years, that would be from that you were ordained in 1998.
Yeah, I went there in July 2011.
Okay.
July 2011,
Wow.
yeah, and I left in June 2018.
Wow.
Mhm.
So what happened in 2018, Father?
2012, I suggested to the bishop who was already Bishop Watching.
Okay.
I suggested.
Yeah, because Bishop Atanga was transferred as Archbishop.
Yeah, I suggested to the bishop to go on mission.
Okay.
Actually, I wanted to go in an Anglo-Saxon area.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to go to an Anglo-Saxon.
You have a love for Anglo-Saxon culture.
Exactly.
Why do you think it's so peculiar?
It's peculiar because it is a more trustful culture.
Okay.
It is a culture of trust.
I see.
The French culture is a culture of derision and I don't know. I don't know how to put it. Yes, I don't know how to put it. But the French culture is not a stable culture.
Okay.
Yeah. It is also crooked by nature.
I see.
Yes. So it is never straight.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't bring confidence, but it is built. That's my judgment.
Yes, that's
Are
your
you the
opinion.
two cultures?
Yes.
It is built on pure hypocrisy.
Okay.
I took time to learn the French culture and the philosophy of the French.
culture. Wow.
Yes, because culture is not only talking.
No.
We talk what the philosophy has been taught
To us.
and what people want us to say, to learn, and to become.
Okay.
Because many people think that it is only language. No, language is a vehicle that carries life itself. So what we say and what we take in is what actually builds us to be what we are.
Oh, that's true.
If you go to Cameroon, you go to French Cameroon, you see that a French Cameroonian does not behave the same way like an English-speaking Cameroonian.
That's why.
Because French affirms something and live by it. English affirms the same thing in his own way and live it differently.
Wow.
Let me give you a simple example. How do we destroy solidarity? Because we Cameroonians, we were a people whose solidarity was innate.
That's true.
It was natural. And when you look at life generally and all cultures, you see that they had the practice of solidarity.
That's true.
Even those who were farming, they used to gather together to go farming for one person.
Exactly.
Then they would gather to go and farm for the other person, and they will make a big land that if the person was to do himself, he will not be able to do it, even if he is given a year.
That's true.
So we were solidarity. So we had that sense of solidarity from the onset. When there was a funeral somewhere, where somebody died,
that's true.
The family that was affected had very little to do about taking care of people, bringing food. Food was coming from all the houses. Everybody was bringing food to take care of those who are bereaved.
That's true.
But today you see it is the opposite. When you go for funerals, we expect those who are bereaved to spend and take care of us.
That's a problem.
So when a lady was pregnant, the community was to take care of all her affairs. They will go farming for her, fetching water and wood for her, take care of her. And when the child is born, it is a child of the community. That is why they used to bring food, raw food, and they'll put basins to put the raw food there, and they'll keep coming to cook for the mother because they are going to feed the child through the mother.
Exactly.
They keep coming every day. They organize themselves, come in shifts to cook for the mother for the newborn baby until they know that the mother has recovered and can do it by herself in their name.
Wow.
And then they store the rest of the food so that the mother should never lack.
Wow.
That is solidarity.
Yes.
You can take hundreds of examples. But how was that destroyed?
Yes.
A Frenchman came and told them, La bonne charité commence par soi-même.
Okay. Charity begins at home.
It does not mean the same thing.
Okay.
La bonne charité commence par soi-même means you start charity by yourself.
Okay.
If you want to be charitable to yourself first.
Oh.
La bonne charité commence par soi-même. It's a contradiction. Because charity by essence means to sacrifice yourself for the sake of someone else.
Wow. That's
By
charity.
essence, charity cannot turn back to yourself.
No.
Charity has to go from you to another person.
Okay.
Charity means that you make a sacrifice.
Yes.
What you cherish, what you need,
Yes.
you decide to give it to
another.
offer it to another person.
Wow.
That is charity. That is why God is love charity.
Oh, that's
God is love charity.
Wow.
Unconditional
Giving.
self-giving. That's what charity means. So charity cannot turn back to yourself.
No.
So it is a contradiction, but they sing it and teach it to everybody. We learn it in school, and we begin to think about ourselves more than to think about others. But by nature, when you're born,
Yes.
the first person whose name you call is not you.
That's
It's
true.
not I.
It's not you.
It's not I. It's only when you get to a certain age that you begin to realize the I. You call your father, you call your mother, you call others,
sisters.
but you think about others first, not you.
Wow.
So charity, la bonne charité commence par soi-même is dangerous,
Very terrible.
extremely dangerous, and people swallow it, forget about solidarity, begin to think about themselves. Everything for me, nothing for others, and that is why in the French philosophy,
Yes.
the word pity
Yes.
has no meaning.
Oh, really? Wow. You really went into serious studies.
I did that
Wow.
during the year of mercy
Yes.
decreed by the Pope.
Exactly.
I made a lot of research about that. I was shocked to discover the philosophy of the French and to understand how the French is the person who is.
Wow.
If we take the famous La bonne charité commence par soi-même, we translate it in English.
Yes.
Charity begins at home. What does it mean?
But I think that's the wrong translation. So that would be maybe charity begins by myself.
The English says it.
Okay.
Charity begins at home.
Okay.
That's how the English says it.
Okay.
What does it mean? It means that if you want to be charitable,
Yes.
begins with those,
Your
begin
family.
with those with
Around
whom you live every day, around you. If you are charitable with them, you acquire it as a way of living, and you'll be charitable with everybody.
Okay.
You see, it means while the English speaking
Yes.
opens to others,
Okay.
the French speaking
Open.
takes for himself. You see the contradiction?
Yes.
Now, the two cultures cannot be the same.
No.
A child who grows in the English speaking setup
Yes.
is completely opposite to the child who grows in the French setup.
Wow. This is powerful, Father.
Yes. It is obvious.
Yes.
If you stand at the post central in Yaoundé
Yes.
and you are going to
To obey.
Obili and you don't know the way,
Yes.
you ask a francophone.
Yes.
He will look at you and expect you to give him something in order to direct you to Obili. And if you don't give him something, he may send you to Malmayo.
Oh my God. Or he may not even tell you.
I don't know whether you have had that experience, but that's what is going
No,
to
I've
happen.
had it in Yaoundé.
That's what is
Because I
going
was
to
going
happen.
Balmayo.
In the contrary,
Yes.
if you get to Bamenda,
Okay.
you are going to
Mankom Obafut.
Manka.
Yes.
You are going to Manka, and you are standing at Kwen,
Okay.
and you ask from somebody, where is Manka, the cathedral?
Yes.
That guy is going to make sacrifice, take you to the cathedral.
That's true.
And when he gets to the cathedral, he will keep insisting to find out whether you have arrived.
Okay.
When he will discover that you are where you were going to, by the time you open your eyes, you'll be gone.
Wow.
Because you'll be happy to have helped somebody.